Hello and welcome back for another Heroes of Might and Magic 3, the board game video. This will once again be an impossible difficulty scenario, a randomized map, so the same as in the last episode, but this time we will have the order reversed. We are going to play as Castle with Lord Hart, and our enemy will be Inferno. Now, the last episode was particularly very interesting because we were with a magic hero and there were some synergy between our magic hero and the Inferno special ability or Inferno town specialty. And this time we are going to be a might hero, which you can immediately see in the starting deck, as we only have one magic arrow, we only have one knowledge and spell power, but we have 2 attack, we have 2 defense, and of course Lord Hart's specialty, the estates ability and specialty, which produces some gold. That will be quite important for us because, as you probably already know, in these impossible difficulty playthroughs we start with 0 resources, so no gold, no building material, no valuable. The production is 10 gold, 0 building material and 0 valuable. We get the city hall, which in this particular town, so in castle, can mean 2 things: either gain 5 gold at the beginning of each resource round, or get 1 movement point. Now immediately there is a question here because it says at the beginning of each resource round, so basically the first round is a resource round, sorry. So technically I think we can immediately gain 5 gold. Maybe that's something I misinterpret, but because I know the first round is, even though it's a resource round, it's a bit different than other resource rounds, but this is an instant effect, and because we already have the City Hall as a pre-built building, I think that means we will be able to start with 5 gold. That will be quite a head start for our hero, but once again, that's a specialty basically. However, maybe if I check the Inferno City Hall, it would have the same wording and we didn't give us 6 gold, so just to keep everything similar, but how we played this during the last playthrough, we are not going to produce that 5 gold in the first resource round. I think that would be fair and square for Inferno and Castle. So here we are with the Castle object in this tile. I just hope that the monitor will not be disconnected from the laptop. So we start here 6 tiles away. There is the Inferno town, and as you probably already know, as light is coming through the clouds from the window, the castle creatures are getting revealed, so all the bronze units with pack, and as you know, it will be very important for us to try to protect them because we don't have the bronze dwelling yet and we don't have the citadel, so if we lose them we will not be able to get them back. So the same old situation as before, and now let's take a look at the top of the discard pile for the spell, artifact and ability deck. We have very good combinations. So we have the lightning bolt, which is a great spell. Even with 2 spell power, it can generate 4 damage to a creature, to an enemy creature. The sentinel's shield is also a relic artifact. Discard 1 card to gain 3 defense or immediately gain 2 defense without discarding any card. And we have tactics here, which can be very useful for a might hero. So at the start of the combat, you can switch the position of any 2 of your units once you can see the opponent structure, the opponent enemy structure, or with expert during combat you can switch the position of any of 2 units, but that can only be used once one of your unit activates. That little arrow represents that, whereas the non-expert usage of this card is instant effect. We start with level 1, so we will be able to draw 4 cards. The movement point rules will be the same as before. So if we start on our native terrain, which is grass in this particular castle playthrough, then we will get 4 movement points, both primary and secondary. If we go to snow or swamp terrain, then we only get 2 movement points for that round. So we'll need to be very cautious of when enter and when leave those special movement penalty related fields or tiles. So let's shuffle the starting deck and then let's draw 4 cards. And of course the first movement, as always, will be with our 4 points is to try to get the building material mine here in this particular area next to our castle. That would give us some additional benefit. And as we played it last time with Inferno, we're probably not going to engage with the other fight, but we will let the secondary hero to collect that gold or treasure once we are level 2, so that will be an auto combat. And we also have the same Excel file which we can use to generate tiles. As you can see, we have 24 far tiles, 15 near tile, 4 center tiles, all in all 43. 3 far tiles only with settlements to make sure it's not overpowered. And once we reveal a far tile, the tile pool next to the remaining tiles will be decreased by 2 for the far. So the further we progress in the map, the more chance we are going to reveal a near or a center tile, basically. I think I've talked about everything. Last time the way we played is if we defeat the enemy hero, then we win. The enemy hero will not be revealed before the 10th round, at the end of the 10th round. And if they defeat our hero, then they are declared to be victorious. The other way around, we defeat the enemy. So it's not necessarily a siege. So that's not a problem. Okay, so we have shuffled this well enough. Let's go back here to show the difficulty, but level 1 will mean 3 bronze unit. And let's see our starting hand. So 1 defense stat, 1 state specialty, attack stat, and knowledge. Knowledge is already something we will not be able to profit right now because we don't have a spell yet. But the attack and defense are more and more welcome. So let's use the estates already. So we produce our very first 2 gold. That's also very useful. Going forward, our first target will be the towers, which is a bronze dwelling. And just like in the case of Inferno, we are going to get the blacksmiths as an extra if we build the towers. So that's 1 scenario bonus. Blacksmiths mean during your turn, choose 1, remove an artifact card from your hand to gain 4 gold, or pay 6 to search the artifact deck. Because you really need this. I think blacksmiths can be very early on very useful, although 6 gold is not necessarily something we'll easily collect in the beginning of the game. So first movement is we are going to do the fight against the 3 bronze units to try to capture the building material ore pit. We can use a defense and an attack card in the perfect moment when we want to do that, and we need to try to somehow defend our units. Let's check the special abilities. So Griffins can perform an unlimited number of retaliation attacks. That can be useful, but they don't have defense, although they have 4 hit points. When this unit is targeted by any attack, I'm talking about the halberdiers, you can discard a card to ignore the attack dice roll result. It has to happen before the die is rolled, so it's basically a risk you take, because obviously then you can't roll your enemy can't roll a -1. But in certain cases, this can be useful to ensure that they, for example, will not be defeated for 100% certainty. Marksman, if a target is a non-adjacent unit, attack this target again, so they can shoot twice, basically, if they are using the ranged attack. And regarding the initiative, Griffins 9 and flying unit, Marksman 6 and range unit, and halberdiers 5 and ground unit. So not particularly quick, but Griffins are quick, so we'll need to capitalize that. But of course, without any spell, there's not much we can do right now with that. Let's shuffle the bronze deck. We are going to draw 3 cards from this, and we would really love to see slow and not range units if possible, but it is what it is. So zombie is definitely slow. We're happy to see that. Halflings are range unit, and gnolls are slow. So there will be some meat shields basically around the halflings, so this is something we'll need to keep an eye on. So the turn order is Griffins, Marksmen, Halflings, no Halberdiers, no Zombies. I think we probably need to have 2 different rounds, so we probably need to spend the movement point to extend the battle. One more thing I forgot to mention, because of the City Hall can produce you an additional movement point, I started with 5 arrows, of which 1 is obviously now turned down, but theoretically our heroes could have 5 movement points at the beginning of a resource round. So the Griffins activate first. We can't cast a spell. The only thing we need to decide whether we want to use attack or defense card. But I try to say Marksman cannot ignore combat penalty. Combat penalty means you need to roll 2 dice and you need to take the fewer amount. So if it's like in this case, it's a -1, even though the other roll would be a +1. So they can do 2 damage to the halflings if they shoot twice, if both of their roll would be -1. If any of the roll at least 0, then they can wipe out the halflings before they activate. Now, in order to roll -1, one of these has to be -1, or other terms, none of the dice should be -1, which is 4 divided by 9, so it's 44% chance. So what I'm trying to say, marksman will roll -1 with 55% chance. In order to do that twice, it's basically 25%, a little bit more than that. So with 75% chance, marksman will be able to get rid of the halflings. Therefore, they will not need the attack if we want to risk that. Now, griffins can either attack the gnolls or the zombies because they are going to have some attacks around them and they will try to do some retaliations. I would prefer not to see retaliation from whoever target we are going to choose. So I think the best course of action we can do is go with the griffins, attack the gnolls, try to wipe them out even if we need to use an attack card, then let marksman defeat halflings with 75% chance, pull back the halberdiers and let the zombies go for the griffins, and then griffins can retaliate, and maybe we need to spend one more movement point, but eventually we will be able to go without any losses. So let's try to do that. Now let's make a decision whether we need the attack card or not. If we don't use the attack card, basically what we need to roll is not -1, so 2/3 of chance, and then the nose would be out. I don't use the attack card for now. I'm just willing to risk this, so hopefully there will be no -1 rolled. Okay, it's actually a +1, so 3 + 1 is 4. Nose are defeated because 3 damage would go in and they only have 2 hit points. So that's a nice way to start. Now marksman activate, and then let's see that special ability, let's shoot twice for the halflings, and let's try to do 3 damage. If the first roll will be -1, then of course the odds suddenly are against us. So in that point we can decide to use the attack card. And the first one is a -1, so that means 1 damage goes for halflings. Now I'm going to use my attack card, do another attack, and once again it would be -1 but 3. 2 + 1 is 3, -1 is 2, and 2 more damage goes in, and that's enough to defeat the halflings. So it was indeed needed to activate or use our attack card. Now the halberdiers come. They could engage with the zombies, but because of the zombie specialty, if the attacker resolves a 0 or a +1 on an attack die, gain +1 defense. So no matter what we roll, we will not be able to take care of the zombies. So instead of that, what we are going to do is we are going to pull back ourselves, and now zombies activate. They go and engage with the griffins, and then they are going to roll a +1, so 3 damage goes in. That's not a problem. Griffins retaliate, that's a -1. 3 - 1 is 2, so the zombies special ability does not activate. And now the new round begins, and if I'm not mistaken, no matter what we roll with the griffins, we will be able to defeat the zombies, because even if I roll a -1, that will be enough to take care. But it's a +1, zombie gain 1 defense, so 4 versus 1, 3 damage goes in, and zombies are now defeated. So strategically we managed to get rid of these opponents, enemy creatures without having any loss. Maybe I want to change the order, so in similar setup, griffins could theoretically attack the range unit immediately because they are flying units, so probably that's lessons learned from the first battle. But let's see the consequences. So we can move 1 step up. We have our very first building material production here, and we get the increasement, which is to building materials. So now we have 2 golds, and 2 building materials and 2 more movement points. What we are going to do is 1, 2, and collect the additional resource. Let's see, that's a campfire, 6 gold. Great, that's probably the best what we could have rolled. So now we have 8 gold, 2 building material, not much to buy. We will need to have 1 building material and 1 more valuable to be able to buy the towers, which is the bronze dwelling in this case, and then that would mean we get also access to the blacksmiths. So we have run out of movement points and we actually ended our very first turn. I'm just thinking through if anything was missed or mistaken. I think not, so we are good to go for the second round, which is the first astrologers round. Let's shuffle this one more time. Before that, we will also draw up to our hand limit, which is still 4 at this point. We get to have the first magic arrow, the only spell we currently have, and we can use the knowledge for that, but we don't have the expert yet. And let's see what it says. So astrologers proclaim week of terrible plague. All players flip one of their units from pack to the few side if possible. Wow, that's indeed terrible. We are not really lucky this time, and it must be the halberdiers. Yes, we will not be able to flip them back even if we have the money because we don't have citadel. But at least we didn't lose the halberdiers because both marksmen and griffins would have been much worse if we flipped them down. Terrible plague was indeed terrible in history as well, a great plague, but it's even bad for us in this particular case too. Let's generate our movement points. We have 4 movement points. We don't have secondary hero yet, but of course once we will be able to collect more gold, then we can buy secondary hero, but we are not there yet. The first movement point we want to spend is coming here, and the second one is reveal the very first tile. Let's see, let's enter 24 once again here, and then the next tile is 24, so the very last 4 tile. It doesn't matter, we are just going to pick one randomly, and that's a snow terrain. I'm not really happy about that because of the movement point situation. But we can actually do something about that. So we have 2 more movements to do. If we go to the Redwood Observatory, then we can immediately reveal another tile, so we can get out ourselves from the swamp or from the snow. The other option would be to roll this to the other side. Let's do a level 2 fight, which I think would be possible. That's 2 bronze, 1 silver, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and then do an immediate level up. The nature of this impossible difficulty playthrough is that we tend to go for the riskier option. That would also allow us to get the secondary hero and collect that treasure chest next to the castle. So maybe this would be a better way to approach this. We only have 4 cards. We only have 1 extra movement point. This, because we can't really cast powerful spells, we need to think about this, whether we will be able to finish this in 2 rounds. That particular silver unit worries me a bit, and we don't have an expert yet. So this will be definitely risky, but I want to go for it. The reward would be huge. Enabling secondary hero at this point, I think, would be great. Because then it would have 4 movement points, so could come here, it's 1, 2, 3, or even if we reveal a tile, that's not possible though. So 1, reveal a tile. I don't think our primary hero will have movement point. I think we will need both movement points for the fight, to say the least. Maybe it will not be even enough. But 1, reveal a tile, and then explore, maybe come towards this eventually to collect these kind of things. The other option we would have is to collect the free gold and just reveal a tile. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so collect free gold and then buy the secondary hero for 10. It's here. Okay, so now we get 4 movement points for the secondary hero. And now if secondary hero does this fight though, the only problem with this situation is that we still level 1 and secondary hero will not be able to do the fight. So actually it has a downside. Can we take care of 3 bronze units without our cards? Now that the halberdiers have been flipped down, this is risky. On the other hand, secondary hero has 4 movement points, but we need to preserve our units and we don't have much defense. And we don't have the cards. Yeah, it would be risky. Okay, what we are going to do is, if I go back, going back is not really an option. So with the secondary hero, I could 1, 2, 3 steps not use this option. Reveal a tile here, because this just says reveal a tile next to this tile. So we could reveal this tile, and the last step of our primary hero could mean they are going to this and getting more movement points for next round. So that is an option, but then the primary hero would need to go back for this, which is not really optimal. But maybe we pushed ourselves to this bad situation now, because I'm very worried about facing 3 bronze units without our cards. That could go south easily. And we don't have bronze dwelling, we don't have citadel. Now, of course, if we preserve our units for this fight, yeah, this is what we should do. Preserve our units for this fight, get a valuable, and then we could buy the bronze dwelling next turn. So yeah, I think that settles it. 1, 2, 3. Let's mark this with a black cube, even though we can't use it. And then let's reveal a tile here. Remaining tile pool is 22. And then the generated number is 41. So that means we need to go with a level 4, 5. So near tile. Another snow. No. That's not what I wanted to see. Movement penalty still applies, but there is an obelisk. Wow. That's just crazy. Secondary hero use free. I have 1 more movement point. What should I do with that? I could generate tile here, but that is... I mean, secondary hero could spend some time here. We would lose our backup. Maybe that's the only thing that makes sense. But even if we do that, both of our heroes will have 2 movement points next turn. Our primary hero can reach the obelisk. So, as you probably know, obelisks can be used as 2-way monoliths in this playthrough. So whatever obelisk we reveal in the future, we can come back to this one. Secondary hero could benefit from it, come back here, collect that. Stuff like this, even though there is a level 5 fight there. So it's not that easy to do. If I go with the primary hero to here, that would mean we have 2 movement points. 1 to come here, because this is level 4 fight, not possible. To come here to the Witch Hut and then reveal a tile, and then in turn 4 we would be able to go. Yeah, that's tough. Maybe moving back, that would give us 4 movement points. And then 1, 2, but that's not real movement. So 1, 2, 3, reveal a tile, 4th. And we would need a city hall to generate 1 more movement point to get out of this one. Or just come here and here, and then reveal a tile and get out of this. But the obelisk would generate us very good income. This is tough. Okay, one step here. Let's flag the water wheel, and this, this secondary hero will come back, and then they will go towards this angle. Wow. Okay, we thought about this a lot. Sorry about that, but I think actually we have the right setup now not to distract ourselves. There are some collectibles for the future, and we still have an eye on the that level 2 fight. Okay, next round begins. So level 3, our cards are good. I'm not going to touch that. Tokens can be flipped back, and now let's generate our 2 movement points. Hated, but that's the case. And then I will use 5 golds. We need that gold early on for the city hall. So 15 gold and 2 building material. There is nothing we can spend on it yet, but hopefully that will change at the end of at the end of this round. So this is level 3. We did the generation of income. We have the movement points, and what we are going to do, so secondary hero will step 2 movement points, but get back 1, for this particular space. We get a positive morale, which will be handy, and with the last step, our secondary hero will visit the obelisk, flag it, and now we get to roll 1 resource die and 1 treasure die and choose whichever we like. Okay, so either 4 building material or 2 resource dice. I go with the resource dice. Valuable would be nice. Okay, now I have the decision to make 6 gold or 1 valuable. We really need to do that level 2 fight, and I think we can. And then we get the valuable, but we don't have valuable production, and probably will not have. But then 6 gold can always be traded for 1 valuable, and there is a trading post there. Let's go with the gold. Let's go with the gold now. And then our primary hero goes here and do the fight against level 2 enemy. We have a moral, and we have an additional movement point. So hopefully those will help us out from this situation. Let's reveal the 1 silver and 2 bronze, just to make sure. Yeah, 1 silver, 2 bronze. Let's shuffle the silver creatures pool deck. This will be very important to have a decent enemy. Dendroids. 2 defense, 6 hit points. Enemy units that start activation adjacent to this unit cannot move. Boars and dwarves. So no range units, but dendroids are going to be very, very tough. They have 2 defense, and we need to do 6. Okay, let's see our options. We have 3 more cards left. 1 spell power, for sure. 1 defense. 1 estates. Yeah. So we can, with 43% chance, we could boost our hand. I don't think this is doable. I'm seriously considering immediately retreating. But I think I can only retreat at the end of the first round. Can't do immediately. How to defeat the dendroids? That's the question. Halberdiers and marksmen can only create damage to the dendroids with positive rolls, so +1, 33%. I have one attack card, so technically griffins could do 2 free damage. I could do 1 with the magic arrow, so we are with positive roll it would be 4, so we would need to do 2 more damage. But then we still have the boars, we still have the dwarves. Yeah, I don't think this is possible. Not even within 2 rounds. How to preserve our units? Maybe sacrificing the halberdiers? I cannot immediately retrieve. That's the problem. I need to do 1 round. Is there any card that could save me? Immediately tough position against the level 2. The dendroid is really probably one of the worst opponents. Not regarding defeating our army, but not to be able to get through it. That's tough. So probably these units have 7 attack combined, but only 2 of them could attack the griffins. The dendroids and the dwarves. Boars would go for the halberdiers if I pull back the griffins. So dendroids and dwarves combined can do 5 plus roll damage. I can use a defense. Could try to take out the dwarves coming here. Boosting the griffins with an attack. Yeah, I think that's the play. So griffins come, 1, 2, attacking the dwarves using the attack card. So we roll now with 4, basically. 4 plus minus, so it's 3. 2 damage goes in. Dwarves retaliate. We are going to use the defense card. So dwarves retaliate. 2 plus 3 minus 1, 2 damage goes in. That's immediately a very bad situation for us. Damn. Okay. I'm going to use my morale. Okay, 1 more defense card. Okay, that's good. Marksman, activate. I'm going to cast a magic arrow with a knowledge, so I can get back the magic arrow, but I can't cast it twice to the boars. It's 1 damage. With the marksman, we are going to shoot on the boars. We don't need to face a range penalty, so that's 3. No defense, 3 damage goes in. Boars are killed before getting activated. Which means now halberdiers next. They come here. And no engagement. The androids activate, they attack the closest available unit, which is halberdiers. I'm not going to use my defense card. We may lose halberdiers here, but I'm not going to use defense card. Yeah, halberdiers are all free, plus 1 is 4, 1 defense, so halberdiers are lost. And now dwarves activate. I'm going to use my defense card on griffins. Dwarves 1 versus 1, no damage, and then there is a retaliation from the griffins. 3 plus 1, 4. 3 damage goes in. Dwarves are defeated. And now if we want, we could pay another movement point to extend this fight. But there is no way we can win this against the androids. So we retreat. And I managed to preserve griffins and marksmen, which is more than nothing. The android's going to be shuffled back to the deck. So yeah, we lost 1 movement point. We retreat. Actually, sorry, we already paid that. We retreat. And we have 1 more movement point to spend. Ah, this was not good. The android was really probably one of the worst possible opponents. So my last movement point, I'm going to reveal a tile. I want to get out of this snow blizzard. So now I need to drop the remaining tiles to 14 for the near tile. The generated number is 22. The pool for far tiles is still 22, so it's far. You gotta be kidding me. It's another snow. Okay, I see the thematics now for this particular playthrough. I think we need to do it like this. We need to have a valuable generated. We're really swamped in snow. And I think this is the end of our 3rd turn. We're going to have massive slowness because of this. I wanted to speed up our development, but instead we are ended up in a much worse position. But of course, the generated tile is not really helping. And also we didn't have much luck with the silver enemy. So round 4 is an astrologers round. Please give us a positive one. So astrologers proclaim week of the explorers. They do not draw cards at the start of their turn. Instead, each player draws cards up their hand limit. Then each of them may discard any number of cards. For every 3 cards discarded this way, they can remove 1 statistics card and replace it with an empowered statistics card at the same time. Yeah, so let's draw up our hand limit. We need to shuffle this. We still don't have an expert. Yeah. Hindsight, we should have done the level 1 fight to be at level 2, to have at least an expert. Okay, so if I want, I can remove a statistic card if we discard 3 cards. I don't want to discard 3 cards. That's not worth it. Okay, so we can boost Magic Arrow now. We gotta pay estates. I'm not going to wait for experts. So it's 5 gold. And two movement points for both of our heroes. Primary hero goes here. Roll a resource die, for building material. And then secondary hero comes here. We are going to trade 6 gold, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 6 gold for a valuable. So basically it's the same like we would have chosen the valuable earlier from the resource die. And now we are going to pay 5 gold, 3 building material, and that 1 valuable to build the towers, which immediately gives access for us to the blacksmiths. And during your turn, choose 1, pay 6 to search the artifact deck. and I'm willing to pay 6. So I'm going to grab this one. That's a search action. I can take the top of the discard pile. Sentinel Shield is a great artifact and we need it. We definitely need it. And next, so you're going to go to the Witch Hut and decide whether we want logistics or not. We most certainly want to. But we will not be able to use it right now. And since we have the bronze dwelling now, I'm going to pay 2 more gold to get back my halberdiers, which I've lost in the previous fight. And 1 more movement point and go here to this empty space. And we're still going to get 2 movement points only. But at least with logistics, we will be able to generate 1 more. Because I'm planning to use my expert on it. Okay. End of this round, I believe. So these 2 tokens should have been flipped down, but I didn't. So now it's generating back. And now we are going to get more resources. So I go with the 15 gold option once again. So 5 from City Hall, 10 from production, 2 building materials generated. So now we have 6. 7 actually, sorry. And no valuable. For the Citadel, we would need 1 valuable. That must be our next target. So we either trade once again. Free. A building material could be traded for a... But then we would be short of that one, or 6 gold once again. Let's regenerate movement points. So first and foremost, I go to this obelisk. I get half level. Let me check. I think half level, but I want to make sure. It's not the obelisk, sorry, it's Oracle. No, what's the name of this? Stone, some stone, right? Yeah, learning stone. But it's self-explanatory, so yeah, I think it's just 1 step in the experience. And now we are level 2. I can decide whether I want to, whether I want to take the tactics or try to find better one, and I will try to find better one. Scholar. Choose 1 card from your discard pile and add it to your hand. Play this card immediately after the enemy casts a spell. It's okay, we are not really interested in the resistance. And expert, remove up to 2 statistics cards from your hand or discard, but take up to 2 different empower statistics cards and put them on top of your discard pile. Remove the scholar, like this one. Okay, so we are going to use our expert on this one. Movement, plus one movement point, so we get back 2, but we don't have expert. And this is needed because now we are going to go for this fight of level 2 once again. And fingers crossed we will have better enemies. 1 silver, 2 bronze. Please, please, no dendroids this time. Do I want to build the citadel first? I mean, for that I would need to trade for gold. Let's reveal a tile before we do the fight. This is once again a level 4-5, so a near tile. And this is Just checking this is not swamp, right? Is this swamp? I think this is swamp. Wow. Okay. Well done. Still, we would have movement point issues here as well. But anyway, this we flag. We get a positive morale, and we get back the movement point, and we can have a spell with this, and we take the lightning bolt. We can search the spell deck, and we take the lightning bolt. Okay, magic arrow is now revealed. And now we are going to do the fight, and we can extend the fight if we want, but we cannot upgrade halberdiers just yet. So let's see, let's shuffle this silver deck once again. Nomads, much better. Okay, let's see the bronze, Centaurs, and Cerberus. This is a fast enemy, but much better than the previous one because they only have one defense together. And Griffins are still faster, so this is why I wanted to protect Griffins at all costs. They are still faster than any of their opponents, so that means we can go before the Cerberus activate. And we are going to cast Lightning Bolt with this supporting 2 more spells, 1 spell and spell power, so we can do 4 damage. And then we use the Scholar, choose 1 card from your discard and add it to your hand, so we take back the Lightning Bolt. 4 damage. Should I just take care of the Cerberus or the Nomads? That's the question. Cerberus will not allow retaliation attacks. Nomads have a defense, but only 1. That should be doable. I go for the Nomads. So 4 damage takes off the Nomads. With the Griffins, I'm going to attack the Cerberus. 2 only. Cerberus retaliate. And now I'm going to use my Sentinel Shield, generate 2 defense for my Griffin. Still 1 damage goes in. That's not good. Because now Cerberus activate. And with another bad roll, but hopefully that's not going to happen. So let's see, Cerberus. Actually, we have a morale. Do we want to draw a card now? Let's see. I can instantly use a morale, so that's why it could give us attack or defense cards. Or we could reroll a +1. So yeah, let's reroll if it's a +1, let's reroll that. But even the Centaurs are faster. We need to use morale. Okay, let's use morale. It's an attack. Well, 0. So 2 damage goes in. And no retaliation attack. Cerberus can't use their special ability. Now Centaurs go. And they just turn down our Griffins. And 1 damage goes in the other side. Now Griffins retaliate. 3. Okay. Now Marksman will shoot on Cerberus, and we add the attack to that. We need to do 3. Do I want to? Maybe not. Sorry, no. Okay, let's go with 2. With if one of the rolls will not be negative, then we can do this. That's actually good. So 3 damage goes in, Cerberus immediately defeated. And now Halberdiers can go 1, 2, 3, and we use the attack, and whatever we roll, which is a +1 actually, centaurs are defeated. So we don't need to extend the fight, but our griffins are now turned down to few, which is obviously not good because they are now significantly slower. But we still have the lightning bolt, and we are level 2 finally. We still have 1 movement point. Yes, that's correct. We go to 2.5 levels now, and we get to search the ability deck. I don't want to that card. Let's see what other options we have. So Breastplate of Brimstone, search the spell deck, or this can be used as 1 spell power, then discard up to 3 cards from your card to gain 1 spell power per card discarded. Or add 3 attack, this unit suffers 1 damage, this effect cannot be used on enemy unit, and 4 attack, and this unit suffers 2 damage. Let's go with this spell one. And I want to take that magic arrow immediately. Dimension door also looks promising. Okay. I could theoretically go to this one, but I'm just thinking how to spend my last movement point. I think the best way would be for the... I think the secondary hero does not have any more movement points. Just forgot to flip this down. Because here we are here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got back that one. So yeah, no more movement point. Secondary hero can go to the witch hut. So let's reveal another tile, and hopefully it will not have any movement penalty. It's 8, so it's a 4 tile. Okay, that's good. That's great. I'm really impressed by the fact there is no movement penalty in this particular tile. Okay, so next round we finally will have 3. Okay, but we still cannot build the citadel because we don't have valuable income, and we don't have valuable, and we cannot trade, which means we are going to go to the next round. It says, Astrologers proclaim, each player gains negative morale because this is weak of the society. Wow, this is depressive. Okay, negative morale. Not good, not terrible. Get 2 movement points for both of our heroes. And we draw up to our hand limit, which is still 4, but not for long. First step, my primary hero collects the additional level up. And then we can search the ability deck, Mysticism or Eagle Eye. Play this card immediately after casting a spell. Instead of discarding the spell card, take it back into your hand, or play this card after casting a spell. Instead of discarding the spell card and all other cards played together with it, take them back to your hand. Eagle Eye, draw cards from spell deck until you find the basic spell card, take it into your hand, or discard it, shuffle the rest of the cards back to the spell deck, or draw cards from the spell deck until you find an expert spell card, take it into your hand, or discard it, shuffle the rest of the cards back to the spell deck. Both of them are promising. I go with Mysticism. Expert Mysticism is very strong, by the way. We need to generate our expert one. So now we are level 3. And this would be a great time to start collecting things, level 1, level 2 stuff. But because of the snow terrain, it's just very cumbersome for the secondary hero to go backwards. So because of that, by the way, witch hut is not right. This should go there. So because of that, my secondary hero will go to the witch hut, and we can discard or get this The cost of buying spells in this town is reduced by 2. I don't want wisdom, sorry. When buying spells from Mage Guild, do search 3 instead of search 2, or search 4 instead of search 2. I need better cards than that. And now we can do a trade, finally. And now we are going to trade 6 gold for a valuable and build a citadel, which is only 8 gold in this town. Not 9. 5 building materials and 1 valuable. Citadel, come to us. And with that, we pay 6 gold, reinforce back the griffins, and pay 3 gold to reinforce back the halberdiers. And now we are back to our starting units. 1 step to reveal the next tile. 34, which is a center tile. Wow. Okay, so let's shuffle this. Okay, Dragon Utopia. So with Dragon Utopia, if we defeat them, we can hire dragons on the few side. I mean, we can get dragons on the few side, basically for free. So the Dungeon Dragon and the Romper Dragon on the few side for free. That's the benefit. So let's see, if I do this, we are stuck. So let's not do that. Yeah, something like that. It's much better. Okay. And I have no more movement points left. We are already at turn 7. So 1, 2, 3. Half of the map is not yet discovered. Okay, doesn't look good. We don't have silver units yet. We should have, but we are not even close to that. We would need 3 we would need 3 valuables. That is going to be a problem, but we won't even have 6 building materials either. We'll need to collect it from here, but yeah, we are at least level 3 now, so we need to figure it out. Let's move to the next round. 7. 3 movement points, finally. Okay. My hand limit is 5, so I don't need to discard any cards anymore. That's good. And let's produce 15 gold. And 2 building materials. Okay, let's see. So level 3 would mean 3 silver opponent. To defeat 3 bronze, defeat 3 silver opponent against, or beat 3 bronze units, that doesn't seem likely. So what we could do with the primary hero, 1, 2, 3 steps. That would mean we need to discard our entire hand at the end of the turn. That's not necessarily a problem. I mean, I like this hand, but we will not be caught off guard because the AI will not move. Not yet. So 1, 2, 3. Secondary hero, 1, 2, reveal a tile, and then move there. I think that's the best thing we can do. And then we can collect 2 valuables on the road, which is almost the amount what we would need. Yeah, I don't see anything better. So 1, this is an auto win. against a level 2 enemy, 1 valuable collected, then 2, another valuable collected, and 3. We can search the artifact deck twice. We take this one, I like this card, and Speculum, or Shield of the Yawning Dead. Discover any map tile adjacent to the map tile your hero is currently on. I like that Speculum right now. I immediately play it, and then let's discover. So the center tiles are now dropped to 3, and 12 is the generated number, so it's level 2, 3. These we cannot have 3. We need to something like that, I think. So we'll need to discard our hand, but that's okay. So that means this was already used. So that means 1, 2, 3 steps for the secondary hero, and now we have one more valuable. So we'll need to collect building material to be able to build the silver dwelling, but I think that will be fine somehow. I don't see any trading posts ahead of us though, but there are some good units there, but we need to take the longer route to get there, because we can't still defeat, I think, 3 silver enemy and we lose our hand. I think that's the end of the turn, so we lose our hand. We move to turn 8. And Astrologer's Proclaim. Each player can immediately remove up to 2 cards from their hand or from their discard pile. Do I want to remove any card from my discard pile? And Speculum means an extra step. And we still need to reveal a lot of tiles. So that's the closest to this, but no, I don't want to. I want to draw up to my hand limit though, so 2 cards. Five, right? Well, that's not necessarily a strong hand, but for discovery it can be good. So using the Speculum to reveal another tile, another far tile. Let's pick the last one. We always just select from the beginning. Okay, so we have stable there, we have campfire, we have building material, what we would need. Okay, collect spell. Let's put it that way. Okay, so Scholar, I'm not planning to do fights in this round, so let's use Scholar. Remove up to 2 statistics cards from your hand or discard pile. Take up to 2 different empower statistic cards and put them on top of your discard pile. Okay, so I put Scholar, actually I remove Scholar with my Expert. And then I put, sorry, I remove, I can actually remove it from discard pile, so why not do that? But I only have 1 card in my discard pile, sorry, I'm getting crazy. So remove these 2, and I get a knowledge to different empowered one. I like defense, so I'm not sure it means that it has to be different than what you... I don't think it has to be different than what you have removed, but these 2 cards have to be different. It's a bit ambitious, but that's how I interpret. I'm going to not use estates right now because I don't have an Expert. Not yet. Oh, not anymore, sorry. So my secondary hero goes one step here because we get back with the stables. Remove the negative morale and auto-resolve this. So from 2 treasure chests, I get to keep the better one. I can't collect experience though. So resource or artifact. Would really need some additional resources. But sometimes you need artifact, you can get it. There will be another campfire. Yeah, let's go with the artifact. I don't want the Shield of the Yawning Dead. Okay, so inexhaustible card of ore. Sounds good. At the beginning of each resource round, gain 1, remove this card, gain 3 building material, or get 3 spell power or 1 spell power, then draw a card. Both of them are good, but I really need the building material, so I remove this and get 3 right now. And now we can finally buy the silver dwelling, which is 8 gold, 6 building material, and 3 valuable. This is very sweating. I mean, we are not progressing fast enough. This is going to be, I think, a problem, but yeah, let's just roll with it for now. There's nothing we can do. Okay. So now we have access to silver units. We have 7 gold. Let's see our silver units. So Crusaders or Zealots. Crusaders cost 6, Zealots 8. If I use my estates, I can actually buy Zealots. And now I would have 2 range units. That would be a massive upgrade. So yeah, let's do that. Let's use estates, get 3 gold, and let's buy Zealots for 8. So now we built and we hired. Are we tough enough to defeat 3 silver units? Genuinely doubt it with 2 cards in our hand. And actually these 2 cards go to the discard pile. Sorry, top of the discard pile. That's what it said. Let's check. Where it is. Put them to the top of your discard pile. Yeah. So I had nothing in my hand. So fighting is out of options. Okay, we have 3 steps for the primary hero. So yeah, that's a free step. University, I need to check. I think that's university. Pay 6 to search for the ability discard pile. No, thank you. Let's auto-resolve this one. And let's generate some resources for building material. Okay, take it. I have 5 now. Can't do the find. Level 3, just can't. Not yet. 1 step for positive morale now. That's good. And sorry. And let's read it another time. At least we are good in that. 12 is the generated number. 14 is the threshold of the far tile, so this is still a far tile. And there's swamp. But at least there are stables there. Something like that makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more and then it gets connected. Just our armies not even close to do anything with our AI opponent, and we are already in turn 8. I have a bad feeling about this, as someone would say in Star Wars. I think we are on native terrain though, So we are going to get 4 movement points with our primary hero. Let's finish this turn. I don't think there's anything else we can do. So yeah, let's move to turn 9. We get back our expert, 4 for the primary, 3 for the secondary. Let's flip back these tokens and let's generate gold. 15 once again. And 2 building materials, so we have 7. Okay, so now we can think about purchasing more silver units. We have 20, but before we do that, let's throw cards. Mysticism. Okay, good deck, I think. 1 spell only, but it's not surprising. We should have valuable production and we should have gold, so we need to prioritize those. We will need 9 building material, we already have 7, so that's not going to be a problem for the gold dwelling. But 4 valuables, we have 0, no income, 10 gold. Yeah, tough, the situation is tough. We may need to go backwards and let them chase us and then collect everything in the snow. Snow is also impacting the AI, not just us. Thinking what to do next. We definitely need to level 3 fight. It's just ridiculous. I'm terrified of a level 3 fight. I should be able to handle level 5 at this point. I mean, not with this army, but genuinely in turn 9. Okay, so what to do? So this one is still not connecting. This is the 5th. If I reveal something here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you can still reveal that without having the very last tile that connects us. So 1, 2. Yeah, actually, secondary hero could reveal that. But then the problem is I want to do this fight with my primary and 2. Actually, it's doable. Only if we don't spend an additional movement point, which we most probably will do, by the way. So yeah, we're stuck in this swamp, but if it is it, then it is. So Crusaders would cost 16, and this would cost 12 to upgrade. We have 17. So let's buy this. Okay. Everything is packed instead of the zealots, except for the zealots, sorry. And then, so as we said, actually, 1. Sorry, we don't have 5, we have 4. So 1 movement point. Okay, and then we do this level 3 fight. 3 silver, right? We haven't done fights for quite some time now, so let's check. Yeah, level 3, 3 silver. This is our hand. We have 1 positive morale. Let's do this. We have 2 ranged units, although they are not really particularly fast. Okay, let's see. Pit Lords, Zealots, Gorgons. Wow. Massive opponents, but not very fast either. So Pit Lords are 7. They don't have special ability. They have 1 defense, 5 initiative and 4 attack, which sounds scary. Gorgons also have 4 attack, 2 defense, 4 hit points. After the attack roll, 2 attack dice on 2 -1 results reduce the attack unit's hit point to 0. So that's very scary. Regarding the hand, we can cast a magic arrow because griffins would be the fastest. And also we could use our 1 expert maybe on the mysticism to get it back. But let's use this to roll, to draw a card. Okay. And then search the spell deck. We don't need Dimension Door for this fight. Frost Ring or Resurrection? Both of them make sense. We have 3 bronze units, so with 0 spell power we could cancel an attack. That sounds good, although none of these creatures would prioritize bronze units, but if we stuck them, they must. Like Zealots are going to shoot on Zealots, that's for sure. Pit Lords, if we stuck them with Griffins, we'll shoot on, we'll attack Griffins. Gorgons will go for Crusaders. With Frost Ring, could do 2 damage to Zealots and Gorgons, basically. That's also rather good. Yeah, let's do that. Resurrection is also great, but let's do that. So I'm going to use, oh wait, I miscalculated. I only have 1 spell power. Sorry, I miscalculated, then it must be Resurrection. Yeah, I can't boost it with 2 spell power. I don't have that. Okay, so therefore, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to cast any spell. Sounds great, right? Not really. But then I don't need the expert on the mysticism, therefore I can use it on attack if I want to. Yeah, then we are going to cast a spell. We're going to cast a magic arrow normal way, so with 0 spell power. On Pit Lords, that's 1 damage. Magic arrow goes to there. And then I'm going to use expert attack, which is our only expert, gone. It means 5 attack for Griffins. And we roll a -1, so that's 4. That's the only thing we should have avoided. 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 5 minus 4. Yeah, 3 damage goes in. And now Pit Lords are going to retaliate. Wonderful. And I can't do the one thing I wanted to. Let's put this on the Griffins though. So Pit Lords retaliate. 3 versus 2 defense. That's just 1 damage. Goes into the Griffins. And now Pit Lords come and attack the Griffins. That's the only chance, the only target they can have. We're going to put on the defense on the Griffins, hope for the best. Pit Lords roll a -1. 3 versus 1 defense, that's 2 damage. So the Griffins survived. And now they get to retaliate. That went well, to tell the truth. And now Griffins retaliate. -1. 3 -1 is 2, -1 is 1, but that's enough to get rid of the Pit Lords. Okay. And I'm removing the black cube from the Griffins because, not this one, sorry, because they can retaliate unlimited times. Okay, so Pit Lords are dealt with, Griffins have 3 damage. As I said, Zealots are going to shoot for Zealots, but we are going to shoot first. Crusaders or Marksmen? Marksman got to shoot Zealots. Gorgon's defense is so good. And basically... yeah. It's pointless to shoot Marksman. If marksman targets zealots, they can shoot twice, although there will be combat penalty. But yeah, so let's go with the marksman shooting on zealots first. That's double 0, meaning 2 damage goes in, and they can shoot again. Double -1. I'd rather not see that when the Gorgons are going to use their special ability. So 3 damage goes into the zealots. Now Crusaders move up, attack the Gorgons. You can reroll every 0 on this unit's attack die. But that's a +1, great. 4 + 1 is 5, -2 defense is 3, damage goes in. Now Gorgons retaliate. It's also +1, so 3 damage goes into the Crusaders. Okay. Now we have 2 5 units and they have 2 5 units. So it will be 1 unit on ourselves and then they go with 1 unit and then us and then they. So it's like a pattern. So we go with zealots first and shoot on their zealots. Because even with a -1, which we get, 3 -1 is 2, but that's enough to wipe out the zealots before they activate. And now they only have the Gorgons and they prioritize Crusaders. And they will turn down Crusaders. 4 -1 is 3, but 1 damage is enough. So these are turned down. And now before they can retaliate, please no to -1s. Okay, so now Crusaders can retaliate because they survived this. And it's 3 + 0. That's 3 -2. They actually wipe out Gorgons with their retaliation. So Crusaders have been flipped down to their few side, but that's the only damage we've taken. And we don't need to extend the fight for one more round. We defeated a level 3 opponent. I can't believe that. And now we get to increase our production to 15 gold. We get 5 more gold. We can flag this. And we go to 3.5 level. And I think we already did that. So we can't reinforce. Okay, we got to keep these cards. And we have 2 more movement points left. So, secondary hero, 1 step. That's a 3 step, 2nd step. Let's roll a treasure die. We can't collect experience with secondary. Very well. That's a 3 step. And then let's reveal another tile. This was a 4 tile, so removing that. And we get to reveal another 4 tile. It's this one. And that's lava. We are going to do this, and now we are going to be level 4. Because 1, 2 more movement points for the primary. That brings us to level 4. We get the level 4 card, specialty card for estates. Gain 3 gold immediately. And we also get an expert, which we can't use right now, but nevertheless can be useful. And I think that's it. And 1 more tile needed here, and that will connect, actually. Now we can move to round 10. At the end of this turn, AI will show up. We get 3 movement points for our primary hero and 2 for our secondary. And this is an astrologer's round. Astrologers proclaim Israel's friends. Each player can immediately reinforce unit on the few side at half the cost. Okay, Crusaders would cost 10. We can do it for 5, or we can do it for the Zealots. Let's do the Zealots, because then we save 1 more gold. So we have them on the back side. Secondary hero comes out from this swamp terrain, 1-2 steps. Not much to achieve right now. We spend 3 gold for a spell, and we actually take the first rank, which is here. That was 1 step. Second step is auto-claiming this settlement, which we are going to use as valuable production, because we are the first one to claim it. So now we have actual production of this. And we have one more step. If we reveal this tile, or this tile, then actually the AI hero will be spawned in the middle of that. If we don't do, then it will only be revealed in probably next turn. So do we want to have the AI hero there without having any gold units? At level 10 they already have one, sorry, in round 10 they already have 1 gold, the lower cost, 2 silver, 3 bronze. Did we forget to draw up to our hand limit? I think yes. So this we got later. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, we have these cards, and we also have to expert. We can spend an expert on logistics to get a hero movement point, which I will do. Let's reveal the tile. It's 13, so it will be a near tile. The enemy will be spawning here, but this will not be a blocked field for them. Just to make sure they are not stuck. Something like this. Yep. And I have one more steps. Secondary hero will be able to collect these. So I come here as my last step, and enemy spawns here. They are finishing their turn here, and we are going to engage them in next turn. So round 11 comes. This is our hand, 5 cards. To expert, do I want to get rid of anything? No. We have a massive magic deck, but that's okay. We generate 3 free movement points for both of our heroes, and we also generate 20 gold, 1 valuable, and 2 building material. Okay, so how can I purchase the champions? That's the question. We need to collect 1 valuable for sure from the windmill. Now we can buy the gold dwelling, and we don't, the gold dwelling, and we don't need valuable for the few sides of champion. But we will not have enough gold unless we go to that. Yeah, so it's not a problem. Question is whether it will be enough or not. So let's buy 10 gold, 9 building material, 4 valuables. Let's buy the gold dwelling, which is Glory of Erathia. And let's collect as many gold as we can. So secondary hero, just wondering, but we will not be able to trade. So yeah, let's go for the artifact. And let's take the Scales of the Great Basilisk. This can be very useful to power up our spells. Okay. They have one last step, but let's preserve that for now. We go here. We can roll 2 treasure chest dice. Let's go with 2 resource. 1 valuable is what we get. Sorry, just 1 valuable. Okay. We can collect 3 gold from the water wheel. And then let's buy the few side champions. And we need to find the place for it because we can only have 5 units, but I'm quite sure it will be the Halberdiers we want to replace. Something like this. Yep, Halberdiers will be here. We have 2 more experts left, 1 movement point for both of our heroes. I think the only thing we can do is to engage. I don't see anything else as an option. We don't have anything to spend, basically. So let's fight. And then whoever wins that fight will be the victorious side of this very painful playthrough. I can tell that with all these movement penalties and bad rolls sometimes, retreats. Yeah, I had some issues in this playthrough, but there is still a chance to defeat the enemy. So let's try to capitalize on that. So let's do the fight. So here we are, the blue hero, Lord Hart, and let's say Zyder is the opponent. And so in turn 11 they have pack of Ifrits. Yeah, so it's on the pack side already. And packed silver, pit lords, packed demons, and 2 of the Magog's familiar Cerbri. So I'm not going to watch, closing my eyes, and I'm picking these 2. So Magog's will not be in this fight. Pack Cerbri, pack familiars. Actually, I would have preferred Magog's to familiars because whenever an enemy casts a spell from hand, they must discard 1 card from hand. So that's not really a good one. We need to decide which one goes, and it must be the demons because of speed. So yeah, this is the enemy army, all packed. And we have 2 units which are not packed. So obviously we are not in favor of doing this. And their AI deck is going to be 2 cost, 2 attack, 2 defense. Their Disputing Rate, Frenzy, Blast, and Magic Arrow, these are their spells I randomly picked. Attack, defense, cost, attack, and 1 more cost, I think, what we need. Let me check. I will need to shuffle this. So 1 defense, 1 attack, 2 defense, 2 attack, 2 cost a spell. Okay, let's shuffle this one. 6 cards. But at least this is not a siege, so they don't have walls and arrow tower. Okay, so let's go for this. They start the fight because Ifrits are the fastest. And gold prefers gold, so they are going for our champions. And their AI card says their defense will be 2+, which will be enforced on the retaliation. 6 attack, can I do anything to protect? With 4, I could cancel the Ifrit's attack. Do I want to do that? They will not wipe out my champions. So probably not right now. Yeah. I want to save my spell for now. So I let Ifrits to attack. They roll a -1, which is great. 5 versus 2, 3. Damage goes in. Champions are going to retaliate. I don't want to boost that either. That's also -1. 4 versus 3 defense, so 1 damage goes in only. Let me put it here. Okay. Next to activate, we have a 9, so it must be that one. Cerberus will be the next one. If I move something like here in this unoccupied space with my griffins, then Cerberus will simply go for the marksman, which I want to avoid. So simply because of that, I think we should try to slow down the Cerberus. Maybe wipe them out, but they only have 1 defense. Demons have 2 defense. We could go for Frost Ring or Lightning Bolt. Frost Ring could do 3 damage for Cerberus and demons or pit lords and Afrits. Do I want to draw out the Afrits retaliation before the champions move? That's not a question. Because Afrits are going to wipe out Griffins. But if I don't do that, they are going to wipe out champions. Maybe. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my expert on mysticism. And then I'm going to boost Lightning Bolt with Frost Ring and Magic Arrow. Doesn't matter, because with mysticism I can get it back. All of these cards I can get back. I can't cast another spell, but I can get them back. And I put 4 damage on the Afrits. So Afrits are now hit by this. And then I'm going to move up. I'm going to attack the Cerberus. That's a 0. 2 damage goes in. Cerberus retaliate. 4. So they immediately turn down Griffins. That was pretty much unavoidable with this way of thinking. So now Cerberus activate again, or now Cerberus activate, sorry. They also get 2 more attacks, so 5 attack. They are going to hit the Griffins, and no matter what they roll, it's actually -1, but Griffins are gone. I sacrifice my Griffins. We'll see if this works out or not. Okay. But the Cerberus are now gone. So I'm going to activate my Zealots first. I can actually decide Zealots, Champions, and then Pit Lords between the 2 and Familiars. So I'm going to activate my Zealots first and shoot on the Afrits with 4 attack. 5 attack. 4 damage goes in, 2 is enough to turn it down. And 2 more damage goes in on this side. 5 more needed. Pit Lords are next as silver units. Going to prioritize Crusaders. They will have 2+ defense for the retaliation. So with 5 attack, 6 attack, there is no retaliation. Crusaders are gone. That's, I think, maybe settles the fight. I would need it to bring in some damage. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Now champions come, and I want to wipe out the Afrits, but to do that I would need to roll a +1. Can't cast a spell. Let's try to. like this. If you're okay, sorry, that's something I disregarded, but yeah, it's not the back champion which can reroll, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's try to roll a 1. That's a 1, but also minus. So 4 minus 1 is 3 damage. So 5 damage on the Fritz, and the Fritz are get to retaliate. Okay, that's also minus 1 at least. So this is also 5 damage. Next to activate is Familiars. They will have +2 attack, so with 5 they actually can't access an enemy unit. 1, 2, 3. So that's good, but the card is not lost, will be used later, unfortunately. And now our marksman activate and we'll shoot on the Ifrit twice. Once is a 0, so 2. 1 damage goes in. Please, please, please. Okay, another damage goes in. 7. That's enough to defeat the Ifrits. Ifrits are off. Now, the problem is Pit Lords can use this as an excuse to reinforce or summon demons, so we need to think about that as well. And demons are the last to activate in this round, and they can only attack the champions, and now fingers crossed they will not wipe it out, so they should not roll a +1. It's a 0. So 1 damage goes in, and champions survive, but they cannot retaliate because they have already retaliated. Oops, let's not lose this. Okay, next round begins. Because I've casted a spell, I also need to discard a card, which I forgot to do. Let's discard Magic Arrow. But at least now we can do it, so no harms lost. And let's see the speed. So we have 7s, they have 7s, Cerberus is 8, so Cerberus will be the first to activate, unfortunately. They will go and attack 1, 2, 3, the marksman, because they are bronze unit. There is nothing we can do. Question is whether we want to cancel that attack, because that one we could do with resurrection. We can do after the cost is, or when the attack is declared. So right now they would flip down. Yeah, we could go after the Pit Lords with a lightning bolt. I would love to do that instead. And then continue that attack with the champions. Pit Lords will have 3. So I'm not even sure we can turn them down. Yeah, I allow Cerberus to do their stuff. So it's 4. Basically wipe and the AI card, sorry. Cast a spell. That's Bless on the highest attack. Sorry, highest defense actually. So demons. Yeah. Ignores the attack dice result and gains +2. Well, yeah, whatever. We're quite sure where this is going, so marksmen are defeated, that's for sure. Now champions come, and they will go against the Pit Lords. And now we do the 1 spell power plus Frost Ring. Then draw a card. And then that card I'm going to discard because of the Familiars. And now 4 damage goes into the Pit Lords. And now champions attack the Pit Lords. 4 minus 3 because of this card. just 1 damage goes in, not enough to turn them down, and Pit Lords retaliate, which will be enough to wipe out champions. 4 versus 2. Yep. We lost the champions, unfortunately. Now Pit Lords will activate, and we only have Zealots, so it's quite sure what they are going to attack. They cast a spell, which is Frenzy. Also goes on the demons because of the highest defense. But before that, Pit Lords attack with 6, so that's enough to turn down the Zealots who retaliate. Now combat penalty applies. That's a -1, so Pit Lords actually turn down. And now Familiars can finish it. There are no more AI cards. 2 damage, 1 defense. So I was mistaken about, but sorry, 3 damage actually because of this AI card. They could have finished it with a +1, but that's not what they rolled. No more retaliation as well. Now demons go, but they can't attack anyone. They're coming with their 2 cards. These are not relevant anymore because they cannot be casted. Zealots can pick a target. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. But let's go against the Pit Lords. They already retaliated. Combat penalty applies, so 1 damage goes in. And then new round begins, which will be started by Cerberus. And I can't use Resurrection because Zealots are silver units. Cerberus will attack Zealots. 3 + 0. So that's enough to wipe out the Zealots. And we lost. Not surprising. We were not in favors of this fight because of raw strength and also because of cards. Unfortunately, we had a very tough situation here in the snow. We lost a lot of movement points. We couldn't do the level 2 fight when we really needed. Then we couldn't have access to silver units. Therefore, we had to postpone level 3 fights until we finally managed to do one here. And then we can auto-claim it. So yeah, this playthrough didn't go well because of various things. Lord Hart also not so strong with all those estates card. Of course, we need gold, but it's better to have a strong army and get the gold from the map than just get the gold and try to build a strong army, if you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, the defeat was expected. We couldn't turn it around. Maybe I made some mistakes. We'll see when we check the video. But all in all, I really enjoyed this playthrough. I hope you guys did also enjoy this playthrough. And we will get our revenge next time. Maybe not with Lord Hart, but with a different castle hero. So see you next time.